Determine if the outcome is unusual, where unusual means here it's further than 2 standard deviations from the mean. So this is about the Dell Computer Company, where the brand recognition rate is 68%, and there's a survey of 800 randomly selected consumers, and the question is, would it be unusual to get 509 consumers who recognize the Dell Company name, Dell Computer Company name? And also it's asking to find the indicated probability. All right. Again, you see this 68% that which is a probability if you read it, and you need to recognize that this is a chance of one random consumer recognizing the brand. So 0.68 is a probability of one person, one individual, and that is being done for 800 people. So 800 repetitions of this probability 0.68 is done, which means it's the binomial distribution, okay? So that's very important. Binomial distribution, what do you have to remember? The mean of binomial distribution is mu equals to np, while the standard deviation is sigma equals to square root of npq. You have to memorize these. And we can just simply calculate using the fact that n is 800 and p is 0.68, which gives you 544. On the other hand, q in this formula is 1 minus p, so you have to do 1 minus 0.68 to get you 0.32. I computed this with the calculator and I got 13.194. Then we're going to figure out what mu minus 2 sigma is and what mu plus 2 sigma is to see if this data 509 is more than 2 sigma or 2 standard deviation away from the mean. As you can see here, if you double the 13.194, which is about 26, so if you do 544 minus 26, you get this value, and if you add the 2 sigma, then you get 570.39, okay? So you can do this with your calculator again, and what do you find? You see that 509 is outside this 517. Now, what this means is the following. The binomial distribution, when the trial is pretty large, it looks almost like a bell curve, where you have the 544 as the mean value, and there's the mu minus 2 sigma and mu plus 2 sigma. So let's say this distance is 2 sigma, and this value here, 517, is here, but as you can see, 509 would be left of 517, so it lies outside this plus or minus 2 sigma. Okay, that's why this 509 will be an unusual event. In other words, it will be too low. You would expect that out of the 800 people surveyed, around 517 to 570 people would be recognizing the brand, but it's kind of unusual to have such a low number. Okay, so that's what I mean. Since 509 is less than mu minus 2 sigma, this is unusual. Now the second part is to find the indicated probability, right? The formula for the probability of a binomial distribution is this formula, and we're trying to see what 800 choose 509 is. This will be a huge calculation. So your calculator has a separate function to deal with this. If you have a TI-84, you can go to second vars and you choose binomial PDF and simply plug in the 800 trials with probability of individual occurrence as 0.68, and I'm looking for the probability that exactly 509 people will recognize. And then on a TI-83, you actually have to remember the order. So you have to put it as N P, and X. Okay, so you have to remember NPX. Once you put these numbers and put enter, 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 actually I have a software TI-84 here, and let's see, you can turn this on. Let's clear. You can do second vars. That gives you all the distribution, probability distribution. And if you go all the way down, there is the binomial PDF. You put enter, and then I already have it done here. So you put 800.68509. You do all this and you paste, and again enter, and you get this number 9.385, but with this e minus 4. What this means, e minus 4 is 10 to the negative 4th power. So this is a scientific notation. So if you actually wrote it down, it means you have 9.386, I rounded it up to 886, times 10 to the negative 4th power. And because each power of 10 to the negative 1 brings the number to the right of the decimal, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So the actual number, if you wrote it down, would be this one. Okay, so that's the actual probability of getting exactly 509, which is to be expected. It will be very, since the possibility is like from 0 through 800. The probability that all 800 people will recognize will be very, very low. Same deal with nobody recognizing will also be very low. This is somewhat in between, but it's still low because it's like one of the very specific numbers. Okay, so that's the answer for the probability.